No, no,
First and foremost,
you're welcome. We'll be checking some learned friends of ours that
Amen, the Public Secretary of the PDP.
Welcome to our studios, Chief Ohanaeze Jackson. I'm going to be taking you on some issues from your immediate constituency, the Ohanaeze, the quest for Igbo presidency, the incarceration of Chief Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. Well, and also politically, I'm also going to talk about the Rivers State politics, particularly the local government elections just concluded, and then your thoughts.
My pleasure being here with you.
I'm going to begin by asking you this question, please. The 2027 general elections are already a major topic of discussion in Nigeria. What is the position of Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo on the elections? And what are the strategic considerations for the Igbo people as we look towards 2027?
Well, I think that Igbos are part of Nigeria. We should be strategic in our political thinking and calculations.
Yeah.
Politics is a game where you put in the best and position your best candidates for the election. It is not something you sit at home and they share it and give to you. It is a contest. And mind you that every section of the country is interested in who becomes the president. So it's not an Igbo affair, it's a Nigerian affair. So one expects that Ohanaeze, we should put in forward our best and then reach out to other citizens of the country, other zones, other tribes, other nations, and let them know the need for an Igbo man to, for once, after many years, be the president of the country. We should appeal to their conscience. We are setting up a think tank on that. We are trying to ensure that prominent Igbo sons and daughters are brought into the committee that will reach out to other tribes and nations that make up Nigeria, that they can see reason for with us and then create that soft landing for us. But we must, as a matter of fact, present critical, verifiable, enduring reasons why we should aim at the presidency at this time.
Yeah, Chief, but don't you think that with the way Nigeria is presently constituted as regards zoning, rotation, and all that, you know what I mean? The North having 8 years, the South 8 years, goes back to the North and all that. Don't you think that an attempt, you know, for the Igbos, you know, to position one of their own as the president of the country for the 2027 election, don't you think that will alter the zoning arrangements as we have now? Because for now, yes, it's the turn of the South, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken, okay, it's going to take 4 years, and hopefully he may seek to run again. Now, if you bring somebody from the Southeast, the Igbo man, well, maybe Southeast or by extension, South, because we still have Igbos there, and then he becomes, don't you think that it's going to affect the chances? Like, people are going to be talking about power rotating to the North in 2031 and an Igbo presidency of 4 years. Is that all that the Igbos are clamoring for? Because we have heard the likes of Amechi, we have had the likes of P2B, and some of them saying they want to just do 4 years if they are voted in. And do you think that the Igbos are happy with that, or they would rather wait for their turn for them to run the 8-year thing?
Well, you say laying a foundation is good. Then you can capitalize on that. For me, there's nothing wrong for an Igbo man to conclude the 4 years of the southern Nigerian slot, and then power moves back to the north. There's nothing wrong with that. President Ahmed Tinubu has come. We have done part of the 4 years. He concludes in 4 years. He has tried his best. it is a contest. If by 2027, the party he belongs to, APC, represent him, and there's another Igbo person that's contesting to win, and eventually an Igbo man went, I think there's nothing wrong in bridging that gap to say, okay, let's do 4 years, and the power goes back to the North. If we are given the opportunity to showcase whom we are, what we can deliver, what we can achieve, within 4 years, a serious-minded presidency can make a very serious, effective change, both in the economy, both in politics in the country. 4 years is enough time for somebody to make an imprint into the lives of Nigerians. So as long as the power shift has come to the South, I strongly believe that anybody from the South can contest for that election.
Well, that's a good one, Chief. Well, as we move on to the 2027 election, let's see how it goes. But I'm going to ask you a question. Some observers have noted that the leadership of Ohanaeze, as presently constituted, is not as vocal and active as past administrations. As a chieftain of Ohanaeze, what is your perspective on this? Is this a deliberate strategy? And what is the new leadership doing behind the scenes to advance the interests of the Igbos?
Well, for me and my own, clique in Ohanaeze, we are doing a lot silently and openly sensitizing the people, looking at a lot of issues that confront the Igbos, the security issue, the economic issue, and so on, which is very, very a serious matter now. We are tackling it in our own way. We make public statements when necessary. I cannot say of others, but I know for sure that today, if we don't hold our end strong, there's serious leadership vacuum in Igbo land. Because those we looked up to are not getting it right. They are not serious. The selfishness are cropped into leadership in Igbo land, and it's really affecting the way things is supposed to be. Again, it's cowardice. A lot of people you looked up to speak up when the issue concerning Igbo arrives and when it affects the generality of Nigeria, they chicken out. So that is the issue. But for me and my own group, we are up and doing, who have been issuing statements, who have been traversing the Igbo land, seeing how we can bring people together, the poor, the rich, the artisans, and so on. Let them understand that there is no other place they can call home than Igbo land. So let's put hands together and rebrand Igbos. We can't just continue to be
Chief,
seen.
From what you're saying, you have a clique, you have a group within the Ohanaeze, which you belong to, and you are advancing the cause the way you think. Is that not a confirmation that there is a crack within the Ohanaeze leadership? And what observers say, that the new leadership is not as firm and as strong as what we used to have in the past. We had some, vocal presidents of Ohanaeze in the past who would always address issues concerning the Igbos, concerning Nigerians. We've had a number of things happen in the country recently, and unfortunately, we've not heard the voice of Ohanaeze strong. Now, with this situation, how are the Igbos, which are under the umbrella body of Ohanaeze, going to push for an Igbo, a president of Igbo extraction, when they don't have the collective organization group to negotiate with other groups, other ethnic groups?
See, there is a fatal misconception about who the leadership of Ohanaeze is. And as long as I'm concerned, I am the President General of Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo.
Oh.
And when I speak for Ndi Igbo.
Okay.
So if there are any other group they're expecting to be shouting wide and loud, I don't know. But for all I know is that I and my executive are doing our best to ensure that we reach out to people, we reach out to organizations, we reach out to other people. We are not going to confront. We are going to convince. We are not going to fight. We are going for friendship. We are not going for acrimony. We are going for love, so that Nigeria will see that there's need for us to have a bite at the presidency. And I believe that Ndi will have enough credible, responsible citizens that can provide leadership for this nation called Nigeria. And we're working towards it.
Are we expecting some kind of meetings and negotiations, nocturnal meetings and relationship, between Ohanaeze and other groups, and even between Ohanaeze and let me say the APC, that may want to field President Bola Ahmed Tinubu again. I mean, for them to also bargain and have something, for the people. Peradventure, it does not favor them. And I want to ask too, are you also going to support Peter Obi, who seems for now the #1 Igbo man with the highest support, nationally? Are you going to support him and then throw your weight behind him to see that he gets a platform to run again and also probably win? How are you going to do that?
You see, while I agree that Peter Obi has some level of popularity, as the President General of Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo, I shouldn't be seen to throw my heart into the ring for a single person. Mind you, there are Igbos that has credibility to be president in APC. There are Igbos that have credibility to be president in PDP. There are Igbos that have credibility to be president in ADC, and so on. So what we are doing is, as of now, we are weighing the complexities of these candidates and their chances. If at the end of the day, Ndi Igbo meet and say, okay, it is Peter Obi, it is left for me as the President General to drive the process to make sure he succeeds. But for now, I will not say it must be Peter Obi. Other Igbos should be given the opportunity to try their chances in their various political parties. But we should be strategic enough to see that in the major political parties, Igbos emerge the presidential candidate. Then we now can
because
come home and say,
when you started, you spoke about putting your best foot, in the ring, not just anybody. I'm not sure the Igbos want to just run for the sake of running. I'm sure they want to win. And we are looking at, well, as it is now, well, if you compare it to the last, the 2023 elections, you can see his popularity and all that. Or are you hoping that maybe somebody new will come and probably have more popularity than P2B? Because we are not looking, this is a presidential election. It's not a town hall election. It's not a state election. This is a national election. And of course, it requires somebody that would have that national spread, national presence to also contend with the ruling party. Peradventure, they decide to field President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And then, of course, the PDP is there with also a strong opposition, even though they also have their challenges. Well, I don't know whether he actually has plans to return to the PDP, or maybe you also have some Igbos there. Like, I would not want to accept the fact that, yes, there are people who are sleeping in their homes and they're going to be propped up and begged to come and contest. We are looking at those who have actually come out to say, I am Igbo, I am going to run this election, I have what it takes to run, and I have the national spread. That's what we are talking about.
You say, we are almost saying the same thing. I'm saying that strategically, we are looking at how many candidates will secure the presidential slot of their party. Because there are other political parties. If we have APC presidential candidate for us, and then we cannot collectively ask others to support him and push forward so that we can have the presidency of Igbo extraction. That's what I mean. But at this early stage, narrowing down to one person may not be the best for us, because tomorrow is unknown. We still have candidates in other parties, aspirants in other parties who have indicated interest, even silently, that has national spread. And then, because they have not been tested in a competitive national election, nobody can say statistically this is their worth politically. So let's give them the chance at their presidential primaries, and then let's see how many of them will emerge, and the popularity of the party, the ideology of the party is another thing that I, for one, is interested in, because it's not about winning an election. It's about making an impact. Because you can win an election and just sit down there at the presidency doing nothing until your tenure is over. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at somebody who will make an impact to the lives of Nigerians. We are looking at somebody whose presidency will be remembered in years to come. We're looking at somebody who will say, okay, only 4 years and Igbo man become the president. We saw the change. In future, let us give them the chance. This is the areas we are looking at. So let's allow the interested candidates to emerge from their various political parties. Then we'll narrow down to the best.
Well, Chief, I know that the party primaries will, of course, definitely be next year, and then maybe when INEC lifts the ban on campaigns and all others, you know. So I hope you're also taking into consideration the time factor, you know, because you don't have enough time, you know, to begin to tinker on these things, on trying to make up your mind. So, gathering the number of all the people. Don't forget that some may even want to contest just for the sake of it, and some may want to do that just to play the spoiler rule. So I hope you're taking all that into consideration. Well,
we are aware of such
okay.
situations.
Okay.
We are monitoring the parties. We are monitoring candidates from Igbo land. And I can assure you, for me, if at the end of the day we see that we don't have those.
Hello, Chief. Sorry,
Yeah,
I missed you. You know, I think the network. What was, you were saying
okay,
something,
so
the
what
last
I
thing
was
you
trying
said.
to say,
Yeah.
what I was trying to say is this. I said that when we aggregate our chances,
okay,
and look at the candidates we have, and know that will blow against us, Ndi Igbo, and the presidency,
yes,
and then supporting the current president for him to win, and then
okay,
we now can take it up from there. We're
oh,
not
that's
closing
it.
anything. You
Anything,
understand?
okay,
Because in
okay,
politics, it's give and take. Instead of you
okay,
to lose out completely, you take
yeah,
part of it and move on.
okay, okay, that's fine. So that's still Chief Ohanaeze Jackson. He says, well, he's the president of Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo. Don't forget the issues that came up during the last election of the president of Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo. The governors had their candidates who they supported, and that's the person of Senator John Azota Mbata from Rivers State. And then we have Chief Ohanaeze Jackson, who also emerged in a separate election. And then we also have Comrade Uche Okuku, who also emerged from a separate district. But lately, I think Ohanaeze Jackson and his group have been quite vocal. Well, it remains to see what they will make out of it, maybe at the end of the tenure of those who claim to be president.